everyone, welcome to Medicine for the Soul. I'm Sarah. Today's postpartum practice is a deep stretch for breastfeeding and tension relief. You'll need your blocks and a cushion or bolster. Let's get started. Hello everyone, welcome. We're going to begin standing today. So find a comfortable spot to stand on your mat where you feel nice and stable. And we'll just take a minute to kind of transition into our practice. Maybe close your eyes, roll your shoulders back and down. Maybe sway side to side a little bit, just finding your center. Imagine the crown of your head being pulled towards the ceiling, chin pushed back slightly, nice strong core, nice tall spine. Let's take a couple deep breaths in and out through the nose. And you can open your eyes. Let's just bring our head down, around, and up to one side, and down and around to the other side. So coming into some half circles here, just giving some movement to our neck. Let's do one more on each side. And you can bring your head back to center. Give your shoulders one at a time a nice roll to the back. And one at a time to the front. And shake it out. And let's bring your hips just slightly wider than your hips. And bring your belly button back towards your spine. Nice strong stance here. Hands can come to your hips. We're going to come around into some hip circles. So really exaggerate your movements here. And this can be nice and slow. We're just getting everything moving. Warming up here. Just in one direction for right now. This is actually great for your lower back. So if you have any lower back pain, this is gonna be great. Maybe you can do this while you're waiting for your tea or coffee in the morning. And let's switch direction. Still keeping those nice, mindful, deep breaths. Let's do two more in this direction. All right, and then you can bring your feet back to hip bone distance apart. We're gonna do some roll downs, and this is more of a Pilates technique. I'll do it facing forward, and then I'll go to the side. So standing here, feet about sit bone distance apart, or hip width distance apart. Roll your shoulders back and down. Nice long, tall spine reaching towards the ceiling. We're going to inhale here. Tuck the chin and exhale. Roll down slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Put a little micro bend or maybe even a deep bend into your knees, coming all the way down. We're going to inhale, stay here. And on the exhale, bring your belly button back towards your spine and roll back up. All the way to the top. And so this is what that looks like from the side. Nice deep breath in. Tuck the chin. Exhale. Roll down. Slowly. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale. Belly button to spine. And roll back up. So working on that core strength a little bit. Working on that just awareness of your breath and your movement. Let's do a couple more of those at your own pace. Exhaling on the way down. Inhale at the bottom. And exhaling on the way back up. Pulling your belly button towards your spine, kind of allowing that to help you roll back up to standing. And the next time you go down, let's stay there and grab your blocks if they're nearby. So grabbing your blocks, I'm going to kind of shift here. Grab your blocks and put them out enough in front of you so that you can have a nice flat back, and bring your feet out so you're in a nice wide leg forward fold. You don't need to go too crazy. You can keep a shorter stance if that's more comfortable. And we're just going to hang here for a minute. You can let your head relax. You can shift side to side. And then release your hands from your blocks. Put a little bend to your knees and maybe grab opposite hand to opposite elbow and just kind of sway. Allowing your spine to elongate, relaxing your head. Take one more nice big inhale here. And on that exhale, draw your belly button in towards your spine. Put a little bit of a deeper bend in your knee. Roll yourself up. Now we're going to shift to point your toes towards the corners of your mat. Coming into a nice little squat here. And your squat can look like this if that's more comfortable for you. We don't want to push ourselves. And bring your hands to just above your knee here. And imagine that you are up against a wall. So nice flat back. And we're going to inhale, exhale, dip your right shoulder. Inhale back up. Exhale, dip your left shoulder. And kind of move at your own pace here. Exhaling on the dip. Let's do one more on each side. And come back to center. Straighten out your legs and heel toe your feet back so you're in mountain pose position. Coming to the top of your mat. Let's inhale. Let's bring our arms up to the ceiling and exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, hands to the mat. Walk your feet back so you're in a down dog position. And let's walk our feet out. Paddle your feet out. Stretch those hamstrings. You can shake your head, nod your head. And bring yourself back to a still down dog position. And then we're going to inhale, bend your knees slightly. Exhale, straighten out. Inhale. Exhale, you'll feel a nice subtle little stretch for your lower back there. Let's do 2 more breaths. One. 2. Let's bring the knees to the mat. So we're in all fours. Hips over your knees, shoulders over your wrists, and we're gonna come into some cat-cow here. So inhale, drop the belly slightly, lift the tailbone, gaze forward, and exhale, push the mat away from you, arch your back, tuck your tailbone. Inhale, exhale. And we're gonna do 3 more of those, but I want you to really let yourself go on these. So really just allow your body to kind of move in any sort of circles you want, kind of really just exploring your movement here. Let's do 1 more. And back up to a neutral position. Inhale, right arm up, gaze towards your hand. And exhale, thread your arm behind your left arm, bringing your right shoulder to the mat. And the right side of your head to the mat. Nice deep breaths into your upper back and shoulder. And on an exhale, come back to your neutral all fours position. Inhale, left arm up. And exhale, bring your left arm down to the mat. You can even bring your right arm behind your back in a little bit of a bind if you want, for a little added stretch. And come back up to neutral on the exhale. Take your knees nice and wide, coming into child's pose. Push your seat back towards your heels and reach for the top of the mat. Forehead comes to the mat. Imagine your tailbone reaching down to the mat. Deep breaths here, feeling your ribs expand. And lift your forehead off the mat. Walk your hands to the left. Bring your forehead back down. Nice right side body stretch. You can lean into it a little bit. And lift your forehead off the mat again. Walk your hands to the right. Forehead comes back to the mat for a left side body stretch. And lift your forehead off of the mat. Walk your hands back so you're in an upright position. And take your hands behind, so they're right at your toes. Your fingers are almost touching your toes. And inhale, exhale, push your chest up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Slight tuck of the pelvis. And on an exhale, come back to an upright position. Coming back onto all fours, extend your right leg back, lifting up and over to the left, and gaze over your left shoulder at your right foot. You can even press back, get a nice little stretch in your heel and your hamstring. And bring your right knee back to the mat, switching sides. Extend your left leg back, lifting up and over to the right, and gaze over your right shoulder to your left foot. Again, you can rock back a little bit for that added stretch. And bring your left knee back to the mat, coming into one more child's pose. One more deep breath here. And walk your hands back, lift your forehead off of the mat. We're gonna move right on through, going onto our backs. So gently lower down to your mat. And hug your knees in towards your chest. Maybe rock side to side if that feels good. And take your hands, place them on your knees, and bring your knees around in little circles in one direction. Nice little lower back release. And the opposite direction. And give your knees one more squeeze. Bring your feet flat to the mat, coming into a reclined figure four. So bring your right ankle to your left thigh, and you can stay right here if that feels good. If you want a deeper stretch, you can carefully lift your left foot off of the mat and maybe hug your left thigh in towards your chest. And you can even press your right knee away from you. You might be doing more or less sitting, depending on what kind of baby you have at this point. If you have a very, very hungry baby, you might be doing more sitting. You might be sitting on a couch even, so that might be affecting your lower back and hip flexors even more. It's a good stretch for that. And switch sides. One more nice deep breath here. And release, keeping your knees bent, feet flat on the mat. We're gonna come into cactus arms. We're gonna be opposite. So whatever works for you. I'm gonna put my left arm up first and my right arm down. And we're gonna windshield wiper our legs and shift our gaze towards the side where our arm is pointing down. So our fingers are pointing towards our feet. And you don't have to keep your knees windshield wipering the whole time if you don't want to. Allow your jaw to relax, forehead to relax, relax your mouth. And switch sides and switch your gaze. Maybe take this moment to take a couple of deep mindful breaths. Relax your shoulders. Allow your chest to fall open. One more deep breath here. And let's roll onto our sides and push yourself up. So you're in an upright position. I'm gonna leave you with a couple options for a nice final stretch that I don't wanna limit your time with. So I'm gonna show you a couple options and you can decide. If you have a long cushion that's not super wide, or stack a couple of firm pillows on top of each other, this is one of my favorites. When we're breastfeeding or even bottle feeding, usually we're kind of like this. We're a little hunched over and we get really tight in through here, and our neck as well gets very sore. So a nice little passive, relaxing pose to get yourself into is you can take a bolster and just bring your arms out to the side and just let them fall to the side. Feels really good. And if you don't have a prop like this, but you have a couple of blocks, you can do the same thing. So you can take your blocks, and you can even, depending on how deep of a stretch you want or how far off the floor you want to be, you can put them on a different height. And if they're too firm for you, you can put a blanket over the top, and you can do it that way. And feel free to stay there as long as you need to. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.